Is Death the End? By P S Phillips. Whilst living in London, we have been favoured with the unique opportunity of proving to ourselves, without a shadow of doubt, that this earthly life is only a short episode in our total existence. We have had ample proof that when death takes place, we continue our life in the hereafter under different conditions, and we feel convinced that after reading the remarkable psychic experiences which have been presented to us over so many years, our readers will find much food for thought. This is not intended as a novel, but as a true record of our psychic investigations. We sincerely hope that this knowledge will be a comfort to many of our readers, and that it may be the means of starting them on an investigation of the proof of survival, with our sincere wish that they will be as successful as we have been. Both my wife and I are business executives, and both felt competent to carry out these investigations with little likelihood of either of us being deceived by mediums who were not genuine. In practically every case, both my wife and I sat together with these mediums, and after comparing notes, we were satisfied that we had both enjoyed the same experiences. This, in our opinion, ruled out any possibility of being deceived by telepathy, imagination, or optical illusions. We should like to emphasize that it is not necessary to possess psychic gifts to be able to seek the truth of survival through mediums anywhere in the world, and such knowledge is available to everyone. Many years ago, we started to investigate the possibilities of making contact with those who have already passed on, and over a period of more than 25 years, we have had proof of survival after death in such volume that it would be impossible to doubt the fact that when we die, it is not the end. We have read several hundreds of psychic books written by mediums and investigators residing in different parts of the world. While some writers have only been able to record experiences of one or two forms of mediumship and phenomena, including descriptions of the spirit people and conditions on the other side of life, we were interested to learn that those experiences practically always coincided with ours. The teachings which have been given to those writers were almost identical with those we had received through our own mediums. We ourselves have been more fortunate in experiencing practically every form of mediumship, and have been able to contact those who have lived on the earth, many of whom who were known to us, and who, after passing over, have been able to communicate with us from the other side. When we come to learn how we are constituted, it makes it easier for us to follow the laws which govern our brief sojourn on this earth, and to realize what happens to us afterwards. We learn that we are a body, soul, and spirit. The soul is the real us, whilst the body is only the mantle which the soul takes on during its earthly life. The spirit is the spark of the divinity which is within us all, and which is the life force. When death takes place, the soul, the real us, discards the physical body as one would discard a winter overcoat at the approach of summer, and for which one would have no further use. The soul and the spirit then pass into the astral world for a short period, whilst readjustment takes place, and then continue on to the etheric planes. This passing from the body, whilst the cause for much grief on our side of life, is a matter of much rejoicing on the other side. In fact, the spirit people explain to us that on their side, the passing is looked upon as a birthday, which it actually is. They say that if only we had more knowledge of what takes place, we would not grieve so much for those who pass on, although we would feel the loss of our loved ones just as much. What is more, they on the other side also tell us that they, the spirit people, would derive considerable comfort if they could be assured that those they leave behind them were aware that they will be reunited when their time comes, and that they have not lost contact entirely. What takes place at the passing and how the soul adjusts itself to the new conditions in the life hereafter will be explained at full length during our descriptions of the many seances we have attended and the remarkable psychic phenomena we have experienced. Unlike many people who start this type of investigation as skeptics, both my wife and I have always had the feeling within us that there was more in life than being born, eating, sleeping, marrying, and raising a family. We felt that death could not end our complete existence with no obvious meaning to life whatsoever. Nevertheless, in spite of this feeling, we were ultra cautious in our investigations and were determined to obtain undeniable proof before accepting anything, and intended to check and counter-check to our entire satisfaction. It was only a chance remark that started us off on a long period of psychic experiences, and the contacts we had made with those on the other side of life gave us abundant proof that left no room for doubt. We met fraudulent mediums and dishonest ones, and we realized that the subject of survival was one that offered particularly wide scope for exploitation by the imposter. We soon learned that some mediums, although possessing the gift of mediumship, were tempted to improvise on the occasions when their power was temporarily below normal, sooner than admit they were unable to give satisfactory results on those occasions. We found that vanity was the reason which caused them to shirk the admission that that particular sitting was a failure. We met many mediums who unfortunately were not on our vibrations and who gave us very poor results. On the other hand, we have sat with a very large number of mediums when the results were so wonderful that the most hardened skeptics could not fail to believe. We ask you to follow us through the years and through us see and hear what we have had demonstrated to us. And if we have given you something to think about, and maybe start you off on an investigation on your own, we would feel amply repaid for the trouble we have gone to in recording these psychic experiences.